Okay, good morning everybody. First, about the content of the capacity development presentation. The idea is to first show the mind map of the capacity building tools that are aiming to the lifelong learning after the project. The capacity development tools that are made during the projects, such as workshops and these webinars, are of course included to this bigger picture. Then the main parts from the surveys are reviewed, for example from the identification of the needs survey, and finally some of the next steps. Okay, so this is the mind map how the two main outcomes are educational package structure and capacity building tools are constructed. It seems that at least two target groups has to be taken into account from the wastewater treatment plants, meaning operative level and also management level. These themes, methods and contents that are cross-cutting the outcomes are of course these workshops, webinars, evaluations and surveys, and we are discussing more about content of these capacity development tools in the next workshops. Then there is our main themes, sludge management and energy efficiency, then lifelong learning references that we are finding, and themes for the capacity building. These themes for the capacity building are the steps that we have to take. The base starting point is the identification of the needs round, which is more or less implemented. The next step would be good practices and bad risks. That aims to identify already good and probably duplicatable practices and enter to the wastewater treatment plant's practices via the risks and existing structures. This kind of approach enables the synergies with the, for example, safety sanitation plan made by a World Health Organization, and via this we possibly can reach to the level of the single wastewater treatment plant employee. The following this meaning step is the tailoring where the needs, potentials and the methodological backbones meet each other and integrate. Other words, after these points the educational package should be and would be quite ready. Slide 4. Then shortly about the main results from the survey. There is also coming later the identified needs report, which is also one of the outputs, but these are certainly presented results from the surveys. So the focus of technological and educational needs is on the wastewater treatment plants. And when the needs relating to the education or information change medias are revived, the focus is also more in the answers of universities and associations. This is mainly because in future, or this communication in, for example, in IWAMA forthcoming wastewater hub is probably done by the associations and supported by the universities and for the use of the wastewater treatment plants. By the way, one of the single factor identified highly important by all the partners was the holistic perspective to wastewater treatment processes. So this is one of the main ideas when part of these capacity tools are further developed. Slide 5. The needed information for the wastewater treatment plants is obtained mainly from the internet, conferences, and via the peer learning, when the benchmarking was the main factor with universities and associations instead of peer learning. This peer learning was most utilized in wastewater treatment plants of Belarus, Russia, and Poland. Capacity development to support lifelong learning should be implemented via common media and methods, but the content and lifelong learning can't via the national priorities and state of the art, and we should also utilize the this existing international references. And about 11% of wastewater treatment personnel knows what process factors are affecting to the utilization of the sludge and energy obtained from the wastewater process. Correspondingly, 50% from the personnel of associations and universities has idea which process factors are affecting to utilization of sludge and energy from the process. Basically, partners could be divided into two main groups. Group 1, Finland, Germany, Sweden, Estonia. Group 2, Lithuania, Russia, Belarus, Poland, and Latvia. This is kind of similar founding than was it in PURE project, where wastewater treatment plants were divided into the 3 different groups according to national legislation. There is quite strong position on the on-site learning in education of wastewater treatment plant staff. It's the most common way for the Group 2 employees. More than 60% of these wastewater treatment plant employees in 90% of the wastewater treatment plants are getting their education in this way. And this raises the question about the duplication of systematic error possibility. Thus, 70% of Group 2 partners have no primary or secondary level studies from the wastewater treatment area. Slide 7. 70% of the wastewater treatment plant personnel visits more than 3 seminars or conferences per year, but could there be probably more international speakers or cases presented to obtain this internationality that is quite highly needed? In wastewater treatment plants, there is also lack of use of personal forums, professional groups in the internet. However, 35% of partners utilizes social media to learning. Wastewater treatment plants does not use any kind of learning applications, and role of the intranet is quite important to when information is shared in wastewater treatment plants, and so probably this would be something that should be noticed when this further IWAMA hub is developed. The most relevant answers relating to the situation after the first workshop. So the most popular webinar contents are technical solutions answering to the local needs, state-of-art clearance based to the previous projects and research. The most popular methods are lectures from the experts and questions and answers methods. Also, more time and to networking and discussions are needed in the workshops. Shortly about the specific mentioned national education needs supported by the main notices. For example, the education already exploiting the conventions on site learning, internet and conferences to enhance the international information exchange, supporting the technical and technological aspects and practicality. Finally, the ongoing situation of capacity development activities. We are evaluating the suitable tools, how to update, how to utilize the information from other sources, how to harmonize. We are looking closer to the game type of application, which could work as a two different level, to give idea to the process entity and how selections are affecting to the end products, but also collecting data that can be used to develop other lifelong learning content of national wastewater treatment plants. We are structuring the backbone of educational package, showed in the meeting in February and discussed further. Already we have done some pilotings with the basic educational package, which is like backbone of our preliminary roadmap. But I think I have used my time, so is there any questions? No questions. So we have couple of, actually 3 questions for you. So please, if you could answer.